Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back. We took an L this week. I was thinking, I may have taken two L's, but we can discuss that. We definitely took one L, but I
Oh
was,
yeah, there's 100% one L for
yeah, when
sure.
I was telling you, I was like, listen, we may have to take an L on this, but we're doing it for the culture. We are
This is for
talking
the
about,
streets, right?
we are talking about The Takeover, which is a Netflix, not a Netflix, yeah, it is a Netflix
It's
original.
Netflix.
It's
Yeah,
Netflix, yeah, and it's a Belgium, like I'm sorry, it's a Dutch film, like it's shot in the Netherlands, and
yeah.
I mean, this is it's a hacking movie. I mean, they were they hacktivists or were they just people who just hack?
Yeah, it, she's a. I think it says in the bio. It says like she's a hacktivist
Yeah,
and she's fighting whatever. This is the thing. I would like a moratorium on computer movies, and I
please.
want all the writers to just take a crash course. Like it isn't. You don't have to do like C++ or JavaScript or whatever. Like it's basic. Just scale it down. HTML. Just get to the basics of actually what it like
You
using a
said
computer.
HTML and whatnot.
Yeah, like a text
Like,
file. Like just
give
what's it like
like
using a text file? Like get
yeah,
there.
give
Get the
me
basics
some
out the way.
give me some
We're
HTML, a little bit of CSS, and
yeah, look,
if you
CSS,
know something about Java, that would be helpful. But
right? We don't have to go over the top, right? We're not doing the code for like Meta or Facebook, whatever. Like just
oh my
the
goodness,
basics. Write a text file and save it on your computer, and then we'll go from there. Because every time I watch one of these movies, these guys have no idea how computers work, and
none.
it drives me crazy. Everyone's like, "We're gonna hack this computer. We're gonna hack this bus. We're gonna hack this milkshake. We're gonna hack the like." They're put hack in front of every word just to make it sound cool. But like, this is
Typing
not
in a
how
straight
anything works,
line,
right?
dude. It's just like how many people, how many hackers type in a straight line. I mean, typing is like left, right, up and down, diagonal. I mean, these people are just like, I was
Yeah, but
just like,
like,
what's going on with these people?
if you're doing actual code, you'd be like using commas, colons. You're
Right.
using all kind of other stuff. Parentheses, these are the things that you would look for. Like
All the
you have to type
syntax,
shift and stuff. Yeah, the
Right.
syntax stuff.
Right.
But like they don't know that. They're just like, I'm gonna hack this bus. And they start
Right.
typing words. Like
Just like
it's not
act like you're
hacking.
typing. Look at this here.
Yeah.
This film, the budget for this film was 200,000 euro, basically about like $250,000.
That's fair.
Wow.
It doesn't look terrible. It looks
hmm
okay. And because they're in Europe, it's like, you can make things look nicer because you're in Europe already. They probably half of that money was in a bus slamming into the police cars. Like that's a good budget right there.
Exactly.
And
This joint,
they had to blow that guy's room up.
yeah. IMDb gave this a 5.2. A
Too high.
5.2.
Way too high. I was looking at this movie in disbelief. I was like, "What did Basil get me into right now?" I was in shock. Right?
See, the thing about it is, I was like, the trailers are so like hooked up and everything, and I love a good
Mhm.
hacking movie, but
Yes,
this
yeah.
wasn't a good hacking movie. It wasn't. There was no realism to it. Um, I didn't like the main character. She was just too sort of
She's so
pouty
annoying.
and
She's
annoying and
obnoxious.
whatnot. It's just like you
Why
went
would I
over.
help her?
You brought a guy into your whole ordeal. You met him
Yes.
like not even an hour. You weren't even at his house for an hour. You
Almost
brought him
got him
into this
killed
joint.
multiple
Oh,
times.
we almost got him killed. And now, you're running around town with your duck feet, just like, dude, I mean, can we
Being
get some
snooty.
can we get
Being
some
like,
actors and actresses that can run properly, first of all?
yeah, I know. But like, how dare you be snooty? You ruined this guy's life.
Yeah,
How
she was
dare
just
you
like,
have an attitude? This guy's telling you, you know what, you need to go, please, and let's chill. She's like, you don't know it. Like, how dare you talk to him like that? You
she's
ruined this
telling
guy's life.
she's telling the Belgium, I'm sorry, the Netherlands police, like, I want you to do this, that. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
she's
like,
obviously not in an
who you
American
talking
police
to?
office, an
Right?
American police department, because they'll be like, wait, do you know
Yo,
where you are?
out of pocket, man. Yo, you know what? It's another thing too about like just modern movies. whenever they have like a female actress, excuse me, when they have their female character, they have to make her obnoxious to make her seem powerful. Like you
That's
just
yeah,
can't be like a nice person and be a hacktivist. You have to be a jerk too,
right.
and rude and condescending and unlikable. Like why can't they make people likable and cool or whatever action hero, but be likable at the same time? Like I didn't care what happened to her at all. I was looking, I was rooting for the bad guys this entire movie because I was like, yeah, this is what you get.
Yeah,
You're sitting there like, first of all, we gotta get to the plot of this. So she hacks the Defense Department and she's rude to them. Like, yo, they throw you under the jail for stuff like that and your
that's it.
family.
Yeah,
You just disappear. They throw a black robe over your head and you disappear.
that's
And that's
it.
the end of that.
That's
She's
it.
like, how
Yeah, the
she's like,
black
"No, I'm not
spot,
gonna
it's
help you.
over.
Like, right.
You're somewhere in
They're
like
waterboarding your
Siberia.
grandmother, man.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
like what are we talking about
You said
here?
granny's getting waterboarded, huh? You know, yo, listen, I mean, it's so the whole thing was like just so unrealistic that, like
Yes,
I said,
yes.
the whole, hacking
Mhm.
movies, I've seen some really good hacking movies. This
Yeah.
was the worst hacking movie I've ever
Oh, by
seen.
by far. And
Um,
yeah.
this may be thus far the worst movie we're reviewing this year.
Oh, for sure.
It may
Absolutely.
be, you know.
Absolutely. I'll
So
go on record and say
I don't
that.
know if it's as bad as Cosmic Sin, but it's pretty bad.
Oh, it's close. It's like a one A and one B. Like
Okay.
it's real close.
And the
But
weird thing
like,
about it is both of these movies, like Cosmic Sin was like about space travel and like,
yeah,
terraforming
the
a planet.
premise is good.
Yeah.
This so you have like a conglomerate company trying to take over something and using someone's face. All this stuff is good. Like the concept is good.
Yeah.
Terrible actress. No
Yeah.
offense to her, but oh my god.
Yeah. She was
And
terrible,
then like
dude.
the basically how you put it together was trash. Like it's just the ideas were there. It was an interesting concept. I think the problem for hacking movies is that hacking is not exciting and you can't do half of the stuff they say you can do on TV. Like it's not a
Yeah.
thing. Like let me pull out my Nokia phone and hack this thing. That's not a thing.
No.
like
No.
like usually hacking involves like a script and like some phishing goes on and they get your password and they have to physically be down there to do it. Or like they got to get onto your server, but that's not easy either. So like what the visuals of it is terrible. And like I think the actual proper hacking I've seen on TV is Mr. Robot. Like it got like real close to what it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
really like.
Exactly. Mr.
Because like
Robot.
the people who wrote
Exactly.
that thing know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and it
They
shows.
consulted hackers too, I've
Yes,
heard.
they consulted
Yeah.
people. They're like, oh, you can't do that. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna type in a straight line. All right, that makes sense. Like it feels more organic and real. But
You
like this is the
know,
problem for this stuff.
right. And all she was doing basically and her friends, they were just like, Trojan horses and like the middle finger and things like that, just shutting computers down. You could have
It's
done
not a
that with just like
thing.
a DDoS attack, just like throw a lot of like, like traffic at a website and shut it
Exactly.
down. I mean, that easy,
But that's not exciting. Saying that we got like 300,000 computers sending out bad data to a
Yeah.
server to cripple it. That's not exciting because it doesn't sound. You don't get to type in a straight line to do that. You just press enter and it's done. Like it's not a
Now,
big deal.
what's really interesting about this film is this.
Mhm.
You know, the storyline could have been super interesting because it was a part of hacking that I don't think we spoke about yet. Hacking into facial recognition systems, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's
That's
real interesting.
interesting, right?
And that's something that you can actually do.
That is
Like they
something
fake,
that you can actually do, but it's pretty
they used her
tough,
to fake a murder. Yeah, I know it's harder than they made it seem on TV, but like
right? Mhm.
they used her to fake a murder. But you
Yeah,
could do that.
yeah.
It's very easy to do.
But that was like to do that. See, that's what I'm saying. First of all, the film did feel like a student film. I mean, it was only two hundred and
Yeah, yeah,
fifty
yeah.
thousand
Oh, for
dollars.
sure,
Someone gave someone
for
like,
sure.
hey, okay, here you go. This is a foundation gave it this money. They're writing it off, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have this film. Facial recognition is like very interesting. Eye detection, very interesting. Obviously, there are some privacy issues around that, but
Mhm.
you know it's kind of what's going on today. It's just like, okay, this data is going back to China. What are they doing with it, right?
Yeah,
And
I thought they were gonna go there. They
yeah,
didn't go there at all. They didn't even
and
touch it.
the way they introduced the deep fake video, dude, that was
Mhm.
like sicko. Man, this movie
Yes.
could have been so interesting because the story was there. They just didn't
Mhm.
have enough rope to extend it. I mean, this is a
Yeah.
$250,000 budget, right?
But I think the other problem is that they don't know what they're doing, so that so they wouldn't know where to take a story like that. Like,
Yeah,
so you do the facial recognition thing, and you lock her out of her bank accounts, or you lock her out of her whatever. She can't use her
right.
cell phone or whatever. Like you can do stuff like that and wreck her life.
Hmm.
That's realistic because that happens. People still dead all the time. That kind of stuff is more realistic. It could have went and the realism need to be in this movie because of what they're trying to do, like the taking over the bus. Like that's fairly realistic that you would have to be on the bus to go do something. Like you can't. I'm
Right.
gonna hack the bus for my thing. Like you're not gonna do that. That's not a thing. You have to actually be on the bus to take over it. And
Right.
it's the self-driving buses. That's interesting. That
That's very
there's good things
interesting,
right there.
Yeah, so and
The
this guy is like
ideas were there.
this guy is running around. I'm like, dude, what? I mean, like, first of all, she dissed you. You came in there with Chinese food. She dissed you. And now
Yeah,
she
like
came to your house. She brought the killers to your house.
hmm
You can't even go back home. It's over.
You're
You
right. Yeah,
know,
they shot up your house, man.
talking
During the
mad
movie,
smack.
this guy said that you ruined my life. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I was like, yes. When he was driving the car, I was like, yes.
Yes.
He was like, you're obnoxious. I was like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
This is again, the story, the plot was really interesting, but the
Mhm.
execution was all wrong.
Bad.
And I think
Bad.
that has a lot to do with the budget they had. This is a low budget film. I mean, $250,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but
Yeah, but like, it didn't look cheap. Like it looked like it was filmed okay. Like they did an okay job filming. Like it didn't look terrible. Put it like
I
that.
mean, it
And
was definitely
it was
high
more
end
of a
digital cameras and everything.
yeah, but it was more a made for TV movie than a movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it had that vibe of it was on
I
this is
do
on
like that it
CBS.
was only an hour and 30 minutes long.
You're like, just get
So,
to it.
and the thing about it is, that's what $250,000 gets you. A 30
Yeah, yeah.
hour and 30-minute film that's like really kind of cheesy and don't really hit the mark. It's not there was no strategic thinking here. They didn't
Yeah,
consult
yeah.
with computer experts to say, well, no, that's not how
How
people
much does
typing
that
on a computer
cost,
look.
bro?
You know,
How much does that actually cost to get an expert? Like, nah, don't do that.
one person,
That
that's
looks
it.
pretty. Like one person. You know
Just
what?
get one
You put it
person.
on Reddit. Like, hey, computer guys, does this work? Nope. Done.
put put it out there on like Twitter or something. Like what looking for a hacker like consultant. $50 an
Right?
hour. You may have to pay a
You know
bit
what?
more for that, but still.
Maybe they found somebody, and this is why the movie looks like this.
Wow,
Maybe that's
well,
the
this
problem.
person is a junior. This person is like junior level, entry level. 50,000, not even 50, like $25,000 a year. Like right out of college
That's
and whatnot.
that's
Just like
bonkers, man.
really,
How do you get this
like
that wrong? Especially because like hacking was mysterious 20 years ago. Like, when they did like the hackers movie back in the day, like it was mysterious. You didn't know what it was.
yeah,
Today, people are doing basic computer scripts on their phone. Like it's not as exciting as it used to be. Like, people know what it is.
yeah.
So the fact that you couldn't find anybody, be like, nah, I don't do that. That's not how that works. Like tell
Back
the
in the day,
story a different way.
when that sort of thing was like really sort of
Mhm.
interesting. Um, one of my friends and I, we decided to get two like just dummy computers and like send
Mhm.
each other like hacks, malware, basically, right? To
Yeah.
see like who's better, see if it works or not. And I thought I was pretty good, cool, but man, he sent me something that
Just burn your computer down.
dude, the computer was locked from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. I couldn't even get into it. And I kept saying, like, yo, tell me what you did, man. This is kind of cool. He's like, no,
Mhm.
this belongs to me. And I'm just like, okay, okay, okay. So I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I just dumped the computer. But like, I mean, because it was
It's
a
like,
dummy
F it.
computer. I think it was a
Yeah,
compact.
yeah.
I'm dating myself here. It was a compact laptop or something, a
Before the
gateway or
HP
something.
days.
exactly, so but yeah, this movie, it could have been really interesting. There is absolutely no chance for a sequel on this. Absolutely
Oh
none.
hell no.
You know.
You're right. What you said about it's the got to be a student film or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got out of
Yeah.
this.
That's what I got
This
out of
seems
this,
like
man.
for what, let's check. I would like to know like who's the director of this.
The
It's
director
just like
is
1962. She's born. Okay, like
yeah, she's big
doing all
time
kinds
out
of
there
stuff.
in the Netherlands, dude.
Okay,
Anne-Marie
so this
van
explains why the
Sleulen.
quality was high.
Yeah.
Like this explains why the quality, because it didn't look ghetto. It was shot pretty good. Like
You
it
said
was
it
well
didn't look
shot.
ghetto. What would a
Yeah,
ghetto film look like anyway? Like if someone was shooting a film ghetto style, like first of all, what would the cameras be? I mean, I
it'd
guess
be
they
like
would
some
just use
janky
like,
camera angles or like
you
you know what I'm saying,
know,
like shaky, whatever. Like it was shot well, and so like I'm looking at discography, like this person's been on a bunch of movies and stuff like that. So
yeah,
like clearly they know what they're doing. So
she's big
that
time.
was not the problem.
Yeah.
So I have to figure this out. Like, what was the problem? It has to be the script. Like, who wrote this thing?
It was definitely the writers are it's right here. Look, here are the writers right here up on the screen.
Hands and Tilge or whatever. We gotta
Right,
talk to them.
yeah,
Like,
you gotta
bro,
talk to those guys, man. Like, what are you doing here? This is not a good film right here.
Hans and Tilge, get your act together, man. Like, what is
Yeah,
this?
this is I don't know about this film, man. This is again to release a hacking film and for it to be so terrible. I've never seen a hacking film that was this bad. Never.
It does not listen. I did not for once feel like this person. I don't feel anybody in this movie was a hacker. You know,
No.
you sometimes you get vibes like, oh, okay, well, this person's really doing this stuff, and this other person's a faker. I didn't get the vibes at all that anybody in this film has ever touched a computer before. That's the feeling I got watching it.
And
As far as
even
computer stuff,
yeah, and even Buddy, who was the super hacker, right?
yeah, I didn't.
You know,
Do you even know what a compact computer is or a gateway?
dude.
Like, dude, that's the sale. We have to go back.
You
Like,
ever we're gonna wrap this up, but do you ever watch the Blacklist on NBC?
yeah, yes,
So sometimes they have like some hacking scenes. Man, these
yeah, I
guys are
know.
like they're like in warehouses, gates around the joint, all types
Hmm.
of dampening fields and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, these people are serious. So it's like, but this here,
Yeah,
I didn't see any like real serious. I mean, Buddy had like an authentic sort of like hacker warehouse
I mean,
location,
he had a setup, but like, where what's the call the fairway cage, whoever it is, the tank out the signals.
Yeah.
Like, I would expect him to have something like that to
Yeah.
if he was like a super hacker.
Yeah.
I would expect that aspect of it.
Exactly. And what we're doing here for those who are listening, we are air quoting super hacker.
It's super hacker. And
Exactly.
you know what?
Because
Hollywood needs to stop doing this. When you take out your SIM card and snap it in half, it doesn't stop people from following you because the information is not in the SIM card. It's in the phone.
mm,
The SIM card's useless if you take it out of the phone.
right.
So
The
stop breaking it in half.
the GPS technology is in the phone.
It's
It's
in
not
the
in the
phone.
card. The phone is
It's just
just
like
for
texting and
data.
stuff.
That's it. The phone is
Like,
just like,
if you want
okay,
to,
yeah.
yeah, if you want to say like I don't want people, but everyone's doing this with dummy phone. Like the same thing happened in the other movie with the memory thing. He he got a dummy phone and then
hmm
snapped it in half. Like you're good. You
Yeah.
got a dummy phone. You're good to go, my friend. Like
Yeah.
the extra step is useless on this part.
Right. Exactly. What are you going to rate The Takeover, a Netflix original?
Whew. Okay, what do we give Cosmic Sin? It was like negative something.
I think I
I
gave
don't.
Cosmic Sin like a negative 1,000.
Okay, like I wouldn't go this far because Cosmic Sin had terrible visual production,
Yeah.
effects, acting, like
A little
from
disappointed in
top to
Frank
bottom.
Grillo too, because I like
Yeah,
Frank Grillo. I
I
actually
like him
like,
too. I like Bruce
everyone in the
Willis
film.
too.
Yeah,
Like I
Bruce
like,
Willis is
yeah.
rock star.
So like I wouldn't give I this technically it was filmed okay. It wasn't
Mhm.
bad. So I'm not mad at the director. I think the director did the best they could with what was given to them. Uh the writers get a negative 1,000,
Yeah.
100%,
Mhm.
and the actors it's like a negative 2 because like the unrealistic situations drove me crazy. Like
Yeah.
if I was a guy and this girl I went on a terrible date with who brushed me off came back to my house and got it shot up, I
No.
would be like, "Get out of my house!
Yeah.
I don't ever want to
Don't.
see you again.
What are you doing here? Move
Get
away.
out of here!" I wouldn't be like, "Hey,
Exactly.
let me follow you down this alley," like while they're shooting. I'd be like, "Get out of my house! Let me go help the bad guys.
Right.
Figure
So
out where you at."
overall, what is your rating?
Overall, I give it like a 1
Yeah.
because I feel bad for the director. I really
Yeah.
do. I feel bad for
Hmm.
the director. They gave it the best they could. They had
Yeah.
they had explosions, they had shootouts, they had action scenes. The locations were good. Like the director did the best they could with what was given to them. So it is what it is.
I am going to give The Takeover a 1. And I don't have anything else to say about it, dude. It is a 1. It was a terrible film.
Hmm.
The reason why I suggested this film is because it is a hacker film, and we're like
I love
computer
computers.
people.
I love
Yeah,
it.
so just like, okay, let's see how someone
Mhm,
put this movie together as a hacker movie. Maybe something different. I did, again, like I said, I did like the story, but they
mhm.
were not able to execute this. The strategy behind the execution was completely flawed.
Bad,
This was a
real
1.
bad.
This may be
You know
the
what's
worst
funny?
movie of the year.
We watched Cyberpunk last week, and that's about hacking and that kind of stuff. Then we watched this movie, and like it's like night and day. Even though Cyberpunk is fantastical about what hacking is supposed to be like, but it's in the future, so you have a little bit of leeway. This is present day, and like I don't for a second, I had no disbelief. Like I couldn't take myself out of watching what I'm watching and be like, oh, okay, this is a hacking thing. All right, cool. Like I couldn't take myself out of it. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
whole movie, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why would
there
bad guys do this? Why would they do this?
there
Why
is
did the
one
lady in the
thing I
company
liked
do
about this film.
this?
The length. It was only an hour and a half. That's the only thing I liked about
It
this.
got to it. It was short enough.
Just the length. I gave the length a 10, but the movie overall got a 1. So I'm not.
It
Yeah,
ended fairly quickly,
we
so
took an
it
L,
got it.
guys. Come on, you got to give it to us. We took an L.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to do these games, man.
Gotta
They're
do it,
tough
man.
games. You got to play them anyway, though.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keel.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.